Hey guys, it's Vince with Mastering the Method, and today is the second part of eliminating the ooze from the secondary extruder. Now, right now, I've already done actually 2 drying cycles on my PVA, and right now the extruder is cooling down a little bit. I was doing some testing of the purge, and I want to show you exactly where I'm at with my purge. I'm going to hit purge. We're going to see the temperature come up. Just about there. Okay, we're going to let that purge just come out. We want to make sure we have a clean purge. There we go. Confirm it. And we should get it to break off, showing that we're dry. You guys seen it. Once again, guys, I wanted to show you exactly what a piece of dry PVA for the Makerbot method should look like. Here we go. You can see how it tapers off before it breaks, and then we have that nice clean extrusion. If you do not have this, you are going to have problems. See, even our end is clean all the way through. See if we can get, there we go. Look at how nice a clean break that is. We're all set. Now what I'm going to do, because I'm using Simplify, I'm going to try printing with just the secondary extruder to see how that print comes out. And if the print comes out right with the secondary extruder, the settings being set as they will, then everything in theory should be set for when I do a combination print where I need to utilize this extruder for support. Okay guys, we have got the demo print going, and we're just printing with the secondary extruder, and again, Simplify allows this, and it really does make a lot of sense. If you can print with this extruder, of course, you can certainly print with both extruders. This just eliminates you having to go through that whole process of printing with both extruders. Once again, I'm just printing a spacer here, and you can see how nice this is coming out. Now, of course, I did have to slow down my print speeds, namely because this is not the same filament as nylon carbon. So you can adjust in Simplify your speed when it comes to actually manipulating for supports. Now, if you're using cloud print, I still recommend going in there and adjusting them, because most of the time their speeds are really crazy, as I've shown in a previous video. As you can see, we're laying down some very, very nice layers here. And once again, we have no raft, which I really love. See where we are. Let's take a peek at our sensors. You can see filament is at 10% humidity on bay 2, and that's just the relative humidity in the bay, but I can tell you right now that filament is very dry. You saw how cleanly that broke, and you can see how it's printing. There we go. So really it comes down to then just fine-tuning, guys, figuring out your temperatures. Right now I'm running at the 210 degrees Celsius temperature stock setting. I might bump it up a teeny bit. Again, the faster you print, the hotter you're going to want to go. So I probably could actually turn the speed up slightly, although for fill of support, this really for me is fine. And this is right now set at 1,000 millimeters a minute. Again, it's using a percentage of that for infill, and now doing direct printing, of course, it's running at those percentages so you can really see where you're at. So what I'll do is I will show you basically how I have this set up in Simplify for anyone that wants to use it themselves as far as the settings I'm using. Okay guys, I'm in Simplify here, and of course I'm in my preview for printing mode. I'm going to come out of here and I'm going to go into the process so you guys can see my settings. I know I'm going to get a lot of questions on this. You can see here nothing really crazy. I did increase my wiping distance to 25 millimeters, and realistically I'm just using the secondary extruder. This is not required for this. I would recommend increasing this to what's required. The drier your filament is, the less you're going to need for your wipes. Layer, nothing really crazy here. My first layer speed I went to 15%. First layer width I upped it to 130 from 100. First layer height, I left that from the stock percentage I had on my nylon carbon fiber. Temperature settings, real simple. I went to 210, and to give you an idea of what that actually correlates to, you can see the differential, about 4 to 3 degrees Celsius difference in temperature rating. You can see that right here. You can see we're at 85%. Print looks excellent. Coming back over. Speeds. I went down to default printing speed of 1,000 millimeters a minute, and I did that from my 2,500 millimeter print speed because, again, I am just using this for testing the secondary extruder. I'm not trying to print with it like I would be with nylon carbon fiber. And again, you guys have to realize every filament's going to have its own set speeds. Many of you already do, but it's that testing phase that actually draws a lot of time as far as being tedious. So hopefully these settings will get you on the right path. Outer perimeter speed, inner perimeter speed, top layer speed, solid infill speed, sparse support speed, and dense support speed I have not touched. So only thing I touched was default printing speed, and we're golden. XY travel speed, left that the same from my nylon carbon fiber. Everything is good there. Now my output, I found on my unit, I went with a negative 0.05 offset in millimeters on my Z. Now, everyone is going to be different, so that setting I highly recommend you play with. Very carefully and very slowly and methodically, just keep coming lower till you get that good bond. I found that this bond really works well, and that's what I'm using right now. So just test it, and like I said, just trial and error on that's real easy. I wouldn't go really past this. I think this is pretty low in terms of where we're at, but everyone's different. Again, auto configure for extruders. You can see I have extruder configured for extruder 2 only. That's why I'm printing with only extruder 2. And other than that, we're all set. We can see what we're printing here. This is just the spacer. And again, I'm going to come into Makerbot Print. And this is the version that is downloadable. And this is just so I can access the camera and see what's going on. We got about 4 minutes left here. At least that's what it's reading up on the HUD. But we know that that's not going to be extremely accurate. And we can see what he's producing. Okay guys, we're in front of the printer and you can see how the print turned out. Should come in, and the reason I didn't want to open the door is I don't want to have any cheating. I want you guys to see exactly what it should look like when it's done correctly, and I don't want you to focus so much on the print. I want you to look at the nozzle, and you can see just how clean that nozzle is, and that means that we have no stringing, nothing. As a matter of fact, when this finishes printing, you'll notice the PVA leaves no trace, unlike what you usually get is a string from your nylon or whatever filament they're using on the model extruder. The support extruder, when it's done properly in terms of the filament being dry, you can see what you're left with. And again, the picture says a lot more than I can explain. And then there is the model itself. Now, honestly, I've never printed a model out of PVA, but it is a cool demonstration to see. Come over here, we'll just turn the lights on. There we go. And you can see, and this was even ironed. So again, we've got that little tiny string, and that must be from where it finished. But everything held up perfect. And there you go. Here's our first layer. And again, this is really extreme in the sense that you would never normally be printing in PVA for a model, not to say that it can't be done with Simplify, which is pretty crazy. But again, you can see how it came out. Here's our first layer. Part is incredibly strong. And there you go. Matter of fact, let me trim the little hairs off. And that's it. Amazing. The quality of this is totally amazing. And again, this was printed at 0.1 millimeter resolution on PVA, which unheard of. At least to my knowledge, I've never seen a model of this quality in terms of PVA. Awesome. So again, guys, I hope that the video has been helpful. I hope it leads you to successful prints. Keep the questions coming. I'm doing my best. The channel is actually taking off pretty quick. I'm getting quite a bit of emails. So I'll do my best to answer the questions as, of course, they're received. Please, if you like the video, remember to subscribe and leave a thumbs up. Thank you for your support. Take care.